This is a public service announcement brought to you by
Frankie. Howdy, YouTube. How are we all? I'm hoping that things have been going well for everyone. Anyone that's watched, anyone that's still to watch. I hope you're having a good day. That is the question I want to ask you is, how are you today? How's your day going? How has your week been? Sit back and have a wee think maybe. Say, well, what's been happening this week? Have I had a good week? That's good. Excellent. That's what we want. Has it not been a good week? Has something changed in your life? Is there a particular reason, something that's causing you stress, anxiety, all these kind of things? So if anybody's watched the previous videos, ultimately what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to use a guitar as a means to sort of reduce anxiety and stress, basically get you outside your head. What happens when we're stressed and we're anxious? Well, basically we sit and we ruminate and we get more and more anxious. And the problem is, when you're doing that and you're constantly going over and over in your head and you're becoming more anxious, you struggle to find a way to deal with things. But, you know, we've all been there. Okay, it's not new. As I say, everyone's been there at some point. It's about how do you cope with that? Are you able to cope with that, and are you able to manage with it? And what do you do? What are these coping mechanisms you use? I've said in many of the videos before, I've utilised music and guitar in particular as a means to kind of cope with my own anxieties, my own stress that I've went through in life. I still go through now and again, like we all do, and it's how I deal with it. So if anybody's watched the previous videos, can I just say to start with, thank you very much, I really appreciate that. We've started getting a few wee subscribers, which is brilliant. Again, building that little community to hopefully be able to support each other in the future. And we can all share ideas. You know, if there's people out there that are struggling or maybe finding things a bit more difficult. Again, disclaimer, I'm not a therapist, I'm not acting like a therapist at this point in time. That's not something that I do. I'm also not a guitar tutor. I'm pretty shite on guitar, which I'm fine with. I'm a bedroom player, but it takes me out of my own headspace, and that's what we do, right? So, and you'll see in some of the previous videos I've talked about different things about even just getting a guitar, a cheap guitar, so that you can sit and strum and use strumming patterns for rhythm. Breathing, using your breathing, inhaling, exhaling, and using the rhythm. Okay, and how you're feeling on the day can really help as well, and how you'll utilise your sort of strumming patterns. What kind of day are we talking here? Are we kind of... So that kind of relaxed already. Nice feeling. Or are we feeling a bit upbeat, which is ideal, which is exactly what we want. Or is it a day where your mind's racing and you're struggling to get out of your own head, and actually maybe you just need to dig in? Yeah, we've all been there. For me, I'm kind of in a wee bit of kind of calm, happy mood at this moment in time. And I'm hoping most of you are. Again, if you found this video, you'll understand what I'm trying to do. Or hopefully by now you'll understand what I'm trying to do with the explanation at the beginning of the video. We're just trying to take your thoughts away from the negative things that may be going on in your life for a little while. These are really important things to do. We need to find that sort of distraction technique that's going to take us away from sitting and getting anxious, angry, frustrated, upset, all the emotions that we go through when things are going a bit kind of not in our favour. So that's why, again, as I said, in many occasions I've kind of come back to the guitar, music in general. So one of the things I want to speak to you about this week is meaningful music. So I know this is probably a long-winded beginning to the video, but again, I like to ask the question, how are you? And please do let me know in the comments if there's if you're having a good day or not. So what I wanted to talk about is sort of meaningful music, personalised music. There's no point in, as a person, sitting and trying to learn maybe a riff on the guitar of something that you're not really interested. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star isn't going to get you outside your head, right? You need to learn something that you're going to sort of enjoy playing. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Meaningful music, and the reason I bring this up is I had a conversation with somebody recently about it, and we talk about things like music therapy. One thing, I'm a huge advocate for older adults, but it can help with anyone, or it can be a thing for anyone, is a Playlist for Life. I don't know if anybody's maybe seen that anywhere, or but there's stuff online about it. And basically what the concept behind it is having that meaningful music, things that take you back to a time in your life, right? So we've all got songs that take us back to certain points in our life. For me, things like, what do I like to play? I'll play stuff like so I think about like the White Stripes. I managed to see the White Stripes in Glasgow many years ago, and I absolutely loved it. What a gig at the SECC. Excuse me, the SECC. So if anybody was at that gig and you've seen the video, comment. That was the one where somebody threw a shoe and hit Jack White in the face and hit his microphone and it literally smacked him in the face, and absolutely fair play to the guy. He turned away and turned back and he just went into a new song, and it brilliant. I'm very fortunate the bands that I've seen in life, and a lot of songs will take me back to seeing those bands, but other things that reminds me of happy times. I'll see if I'll try and muddle this. That's in the wrong key. Anyway, mistakes are good. Mistakes are good. It means that you are learning. And I don't edit them out, because people are more than welcome to go, you're playing shit. And my reaction to that, and I will retort back to you, and what? Right? I'm not allowed to go on stage. I'm wanting to sit in my bedroom and play some fun tunes that take me back. So anyway, sorry, I digress. Let's go back to things that take me back, right? Sitting in my dad's car, going out for the day on maybe a Saturday or whatever, as a family, going to nice places, Loch Lomond and different places and stuff, and Dire Straits playing in the background. That's a great memory for me. I absolutely love it. I love Dire Straits. I love all these bands. I listened to lots of it when I was younger, and I absolutely love them. Other things like, I'll try not. This is a kind of Bob Marley reggae thing. little buzz, but I'm not very good at that either. However, it reminds me of it. It reminds me of a song, and it takes me back to my mum listening to Bob Marley. She loved Bob Marley. She loved lots of different types of music. She went way back to the 60s and stuff, so a lot of 60s stuff really came in. I don't know if anybody's ever heard a song called Telstar. That I can't play. It's an instrumental, and I believe, if I'm correct, that Matt Bellamy from Muse, I think his dad was in the band, the Tremolos. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Cool tune though, and I believe that's kind of where Nights of Sidonia, that whole, the lovely instrumental side of it and stuff like that, that kind of came from it. So whenever I heard it, even when I listened to Nights of Sidonia, because my mum quite liked that as well, which is funny, she absolutely loved that as well, because it reminded her of Telstar, and ironically there is a connection there. So it's about meaningful music to yourself. Obviously there's many songs that will probably have a kind of negative impact on how we're feeling at that particular time. There's songs that I might play or I might listen to that will kind of take me back to a sadder memory, or maybe not as quite pleasurable memory, which is fair enough, because we need that. We do need that. How do we deal with it? Sometimes when we're a bit sad, and then we start to think about things, and hopefully we can get through it. We're building resilience when we're doing these things. So meaningful music. I also talk about things like there's a thing about sort of wedding songs, things like that. For me and my wife, Jason Mraz, I Won't Give Up. That was our first dance, and I love putting that on a lot. It's a song that means a lot to us, and and there's also a bit of a thing surrounding sort of TV shows and movies and stuff like that. I'm not saying that you stick a Starsky and Hutch theme tune on and then start jumping over motors and things like that, or cars, but there's supposed to be a thing in that as well that can take you back to, like, sitting chilling with family and things. So EastEnders, dum dum dum. You might, in the UK, you might want to learn to play stuff like that. Who knows? Everybody's different. That's the whole point. Maybe you've got in your head that that Phil Collins, Big Phil, means something to you, and that sort of probably more geared to drummers in the air tonight, but maybe that means something to you. You could probably do the rhythm on the guitar, right? I can feel it coming. Let's do it again. No. That's fun. So, and again, that's what the guitar's supposed to be, isn't it? It's supposed to be fun, not stressful. You're not playing guitar so that you can. You're not Slash, are you? You're not Eric Johnson. You're not all these amazing guitarists and stuff like that. If you want to learn to become an amazing guitarist, absolutely, but you should have fun as well. And that's this idea I like. I think it's good fun. Another wee song that I quite like. I'll just stick a wee pedal on. Obviously don't have one. On this guitar anyway. So that's another song that takes me back to my dad, and my mum absolutely loved it. And funnily enough, she was right into guitar as well. She never ever played, but she loved a lot of the guitar music and stuff. So a lot of things like that. It's about meaningful music. I would love to be able to play some I don't know, TV show themes and stuff that might I don't know, would maybe help you to, you know, if you were to pick something. Let me see if there's anything that I can conjure up. Probably not. Just trying to think of a little. Do you think you'd be able to figure out what that was meant to be? No? Right. Bear with me. Let's have a look. Well, anyway, the whole point in that is it's kind of meant to be my version of Game of Thrones. My version. Just remember, this is me rocking out in my bedroom talking to you and hopefully trying to spur you on to do better than that shit. I'll try and learn that actually. That was quite good fun. Always fall back with Queen. Who doesn't like a bit of Queen? Or Brian Adams. So essentially what I was wanting to have a chat about, that's probably been a lot more long-winded than it had to be, was about meaningful music and what meaningful music means to you, not anybody else. At the end of the day, people can pass remark and pass comment about what people listen to, but it's about your music. It's nothing to do with anybody else. That's what makes us individuals, and it's very personal. So don't ever let anybody try and belittle you about what music taste you're into. and they, you know, you enjoy that. That's the whole point in it. If you want to try and learn to play guitar, then you pick the music that you want to pick. That's what I do as well, like everybody else. So that's what meaningful music is. It's about taking you and transporting you back in time to a place where hopefully there's some happy memories. And that's when I'm feeling a bit low, that's something that I do. Again, I'll start with week 1, the breathing exercises. Week 2, you know, we were talking about rhythm and how we were feeling, which we've done at the start of the video. Only we've not used muted strings, we just went for it, and I don't know, made me feel a bit better. We've done the 3 notes per string, and which was on previous week. And this week we're doing things about meaningful music and picking the tunes that you want to play. And see if you don't really want to learn other people's music, that's fine as well. Do you know, you do you. That's the whole point in it, isn't it? You be you, you do you. You do what it takes to get you out of your head when you're struggling. Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I want to say a huge thank you to the subscribers that we've got so far. Again, hopefully you watch the video, hopefully you enjoy it. I'd really appreciate, you know, even just a comment or whatever, just to say, you know, that you've tried these techniques, if you've tried them, and hopefully they've been helpful for you. What I will say just briefly at the end is, if you're truly struggling and you're starting to think that things are, you know, that life isn't worth living, if you're finding yourself in a situation where nothing's going to help at this point in time, you know, or you don't think anything will help, please reach out. I will try and find some numbers and put them below in the description of the video. Samaritans in the UK are really good, NHS 24. And, you know, obviously your GP, but if it's out of hours, contact people. Find a crisis number that's going to help you so that you can talk. That's the whole point in this. It's about taking our mind off things, you know, being able to admit to ourselves that we are having a difficult time and speaking to people. If you get to a stage where you don't think you can keep yourself safe, please take yourself to A&E and request an assessment. Okay, so remember, brothers, that's the whole point in this. We're here to help each other. Okay, so please do keep safe. Look after your friends. A quick phone call, a quick text, how are you, goes a long way. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.